Before you scroll away, stop right here because what you are about to witness is not just another rejected business proposal inside the entertainment industry. It is the exact moment Bai Lu shattered every remaining expectation surrounding her future with Dylan Wang by refusing what insiders are calling his final attempt to rebuild their professional connection. And if you stay until the very end, you are going to uncover why fans across the world believe this rejection officially destroyed the last bridge between two of the biggest names in Kdrama history. So subscribe right now and stay with every second because this story unfolds in a way that will leave you emotionally stunned long after it ends. For years, people believed Bai Lu and Dylan Wang were destined to remain connected forever in some way. Maybe not publicly romantic, maybe not officially confirmed, but emotionally linked through the undeniable chemistry that followed them everywhere. Every drama appearance together created chaos online. Every interview generated millions of views. Every accidental touch or lingering glance became headline material across fan communities around the world. That was why no one expected their story to slowly collapse the way it did. Not through one explosive scandal, not through public fighting, but through distance, silence, and emotional fractures hidden beneath polished smiles. At first, fans ignored the signs, the reduced interactions, the growing separation during public events, the carefully professional tone replacing the warmth people once noticed naturally between them. Most assumed schedules and career growth simply pushed them in different directions temporarily. But insiders quietly knew something deeper had changed between them long before the public noticed. The first major crack appeared after several private disagreements surrounding future collaborations and creative control behind the scenes. Both stars had evolved professionally. Both carried enormous influence now. And somewhere during that growth, their once effortless understanding of each other became complicated. Meetings became shorter, conversations colder, decisions more guarded. Still, fans believed time would eventually reconnect them again. That belief survived until Dylan Wang made what insiders now call his final offer to Bai Lu. The proposal itself stunned the industry immediately. Dylan Wang had reportedly spent months quietly building plans for a new entertainment studio focused on high-quality productions and stronger creative independence for actors tired of restrictive industry systems. The project was ambitious. Massive investors, global streaming partnerships, luxury sponsors already interested before launch. And at the center of Dylan Wang's vision was one person he reportedly wanted beside him from the very beginning: Bai Lu. According to insiders, he personally approached her with an offer unlike anything she had received before. Not just another acting contract, not another temporary collaboration, a permanent position helping shape the future direction of the studio itself. Creative authority, long-term projects, shared decision-making power, financial incentives enormous enough to shock even experienced industry executives. People close to Dylan Wang later admitted he believed Bai Lu was the only person he truly trusted enough to help build the studio into something meaningful emotionally as well as professionally. That revelation alone emotionally destroyed fans once details leaked later online. Because suddenly, the offer felt personal. Deeply personal, not simply business. The meeting where Dylan Wang presented the proposal reportedly happened late one evening inside a private office overlooking the city skyline. The atmosphere there felt calm at first. Soft lights reflecting against the glass windows while the city moved silently below them. Dylan Wang arrived early, nervous in a way very few people had ever seen before. Insiders described him pacing slowly through the office, while reviewing documents repeatedly, even though he already knew every detail perfectly. Because beneath all the professionalism surrounding the proposal existed something much more fragile. Hope. Real hope that this offer could somehow repair what had quietly broken between them over time. When Bai Lu finally arrived, the atmosphere shifted immediately. Elegant, as always. Calm on the surface, but emotionally distant in a way Dylan Wang reportedly noticed the second she entered the room. They greeted each other politely, professionally, yet something felt missing instantly. The warmth people once described between them had faded into careful emotional restraint. Dylan Wang spent nearly an hour explaining the vision for the studio, the projects, the opportunities, the future they could build professionally together. And according to insiders, there were moments where his voice carried emotion far deeper than business discussion alone could explain. At one point, he reportedly admitted that he could not imagine building something this important beside anyone else. That sentence stayed hanging heavily in the room afterward, because Bai Lu understood immediately what he truly meant. This was not simply about work anymore. This was his final attempt to hold onto the connection they once shared. For several moments after his presentation, Bai Lu remained completely silent, looking through the documents carefully while the city lights reflected softly across the table between them. Dylan Wang reportedly watched her expression the entire time, searching desperately for some sign of hope, some indication she still believed in what they once had together professionally. But the answer that finally came shattered everything. Bai Lu quietly thanked him for the offer, then gently refused it, not aggressively, not emotionally, just calmly. And somehow that calmness hurt Dylan Wang more than anger ever could. According to insiders, the silence afterward became unbearable. Dylan Wang reportedly stared at her without speaking for several seconds, as if struggling to process what had just happened. Because deep down he had truly believed she would say yes. Not simply because of the opportunity itself, but because part of him still believed their connection remained strong enough to survive everything that had happened between them. Bai Lu eventually explained her decision quietly. She admitted she no longer believed mixing emotional history with business ambition would lead either of them toward peace. Those words reportedly hit Dylan Wang harder than anyone inside the room expected, because beneath her calm tone existed finality, the kind impossible to negotiate against. He reportedly asked softly whether this meant they would never truly work together again in the future. Bai Lu paused before answering, and that pause emotionally destroyed fans once details leaked later online. Because for one brief second, insiders claimed it looked as though she almost changed her mind. Almost. But in the end, she simply said sometimes people become too important emotionally for professional collaboration to remain simple anymore. That sentence spread across the internet like wildfire once insiders revealed it later. Fans replaying it endlessly, analyzing every possible hidden meaning behind her words. Some believing she rejected him because lingering emotions still existed between them. Others believing the emotional damage between them had simply become impossible to repair professionally. But regardless of interpretation, one thing became undeniable. The rejection devastated Dylan Wang deeply. Sources close to him described him remaining inside the office alone for nearly an hour after Bai Lu left. The proposal documents still spread across the table untouched, the city lights outside continuing to glow while he reportedly sat silently replaying the conversation repeatedly in his mind. One insider later admitted Dylan Wang quietly told a close friend afterward that losing the studio partnership somehow felt more painful than losing projects or public support ever could, because this rejection symbolized something much bigger. The final collapse of a connection he once believed would survive no matter how complicated life became around them. The public fallout arrived quickly afterward. Industry insiders leaked news of the rejected proposal within days. Entertainment headlines exploded everywhere, fans immediately dividing into emotional camps online, some defending Bai Lu for protecting her peace and independence, others mourning what they believed was the permanent end of one of the most beloved creative pairings in modern Kdrama history. Then came the moment that emotionally shattered fans even further. During a later press event, Dylan Wang was asked indirectly whether certain people disappoint you more when you still believe in them deeply. The room became silent immediately. Everyone understood exactly what the question referred to. Dylan Wang smiled faintly before answering softly that sometimes letting go of expectations is the only way people finally stop hurting each other. That response spread everywhere online within minutes. Fans calling it heartbreaking, others claiming it sounded less like bitterness and more like someone quietly grieving something already lost forever. Meanwhile, Bai Lu remained mostly silent publicly throughout the controversy. But during one later interview, she was asked whether she regretted walking away from opportunities connected to important people in her life. Her answer emotionally destroyed fans once again. She said protecting your peace sometimes means saying no to the very things you once dreamed would make you happiest. The internet erupted immediately afterward, because everyone understood she was no longer speaking only about business anymore. She was speaking about emotional survival. Months later, the distance between them remained unchanged. Separate projects, separate appearances, separate futures slowly forming away from each other completely. Fans still revisit old interviews between them, searching desperately for hidden moments, proving things once felt different. Warmer, safer, more genuine. And perhaps that is why this story hurts so deeply for so many people. Because people did not simply lose another celebrity collaboration. They watched two people who once inspired endless excitement quietly become strangers, standing on opposite sides of emotional history. No scandal, no dramatic betrayal, just pain too complicated to carry into the future together anymore. And now the only question that remains is this. When someone rejects the final chance to rebuild something meaningful with another person, is it because the connection no longer matters, or because it still matters far too much to survive another heartbreak? If this story touched your heart and you want more emotional drama stories like this, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who understands that sometimes the saddest endings are not loud explosions. They are the quiet moments where two people realize they can no longer walk toward the same future together anymore.